Hello, and unintentionally welcome to the first episode of Plane Reviews in KSP 1.2. Yes, that's right, even though it's still in the pre-release. Yeah. And that's just because the planes I happen to choose today, two of them are in KSP 1.2 and the others are stock, with one exception. But we're starting with the Mercury Man 3's EC2 Phantom Eye, or Phantom Eye, which is a drone? Oh, I didn't even realize it was I don't know. Obviously it's a drone, but I didn't realize it was a drone for some reason. Somehow my brain just, forgot it was a drone, even though I clearly knew that. But I don't know what I'm saying or thinking. But, this launches from a car vehicle. Oh, that's interesting. And it's got its own electric engines in here. Yeah. Oh, these are using, that's interesting. The mechanic that they're using is a bit different. Don't know how well it'll work. I don't know. Maybe it'll work really well. I really don't know. But in any case, yeah, so it's, let's see. Does it say stuff here? Oh, yep. Right engine, Alt-E, left engine, Alt-Q. Oops. Has two landing gears, so after detaching the trolley, you can land again. If the nav ball points at 270 when you switch to the craft, not to the props, then there is a probe core in the front fairing to select, and it probably says some other stuff down below that, but, unfortunately, KSP 1.2 is slightly broken. Actually, I think the text box, or was it fixed in 1.2 and it's been broken in 1.1 for forever? I don't remember which. In any case, we're going to give this thing a fly. Fortunately, I was provided with launch instructions. So, decouple the props, then I guess spin them up. So I guess this is, which one are we on? We're on the left engine, which means we need to spin to the right. Yeah, we need to spin to the right, so Alt plus E. Oh, that is the wrong way. Okay, I guess not. Even though that's clearly, I guess this whatchamacallit, probe core is actually facing, oh yeah, see, heading 270. It's actually facing the opposite direction from where we're pointing right now, and that would be why that's why it's messing up. And this one is also equally pointed backwards. Why is, oh my god, when I scroll out, my scroll is backwards. Probably because I'm holding Alt while scrolling. That is interesting. Alright, now I can scroll properly. There you go, reset things properly. Oh, does Alt scroll change your point that you're circling around somehow? No, it doesn't. Huh, that's weird. It changes it in a way where that's weird, where double click resets it, but not in a way I can tell what's going on exactly. Alright, well in any case, we've spun up the engines. Let's see, Alt-Q, blah, blah, roll slider, blah, blah, detach from the launch clamp at around 37 meters per second, pull up, decouple the trolley, cruising speed is 45 meters per second. Alright, so, good enough for us to fly. Hopefully. Oh, don't drag the tail. Ooh, it gets kind of close there, but yeah, alright. So, we're supposed to let it get up to, what was it again? 37 meters per second to pull up. So hopefully the wheel stress is able to hold this for a while. Let's take a look. Let's keep these up for the moment, just so we can see the wheel stresses. Very low wheel stresses, actually. Oh, we're actually high enough. It said we can go ahead and pull up at this point. All right, so I'm gonna just gently pull it up, decouple that. It can just, well, I think it broke immediately, but oh god. In any case, let's have that and that, which are kind of fucking up, go away. And cruising speed is supposedly 45 meters per second, so we can obviously plan to do that. Where did it go? Okay, it went off the runway and kind of parked there. We're kind of diving a little bit. Alright, there you go. Good. I forgot to turn on SAS. Okay, SAS is not helping enough. Let's turn it up just a little bit. Let's not turn it up, but pull up just a little bit and see if the SAS will now stabilize us. No, the SAS cannot compete with the vibrations from these motors. So I've heard, I actually was watching someone else's video on how to make these better, apparently, and this is not the way to do it, apparently. I don't know, it's interesting. There's different ways to do it, and I forget, I think he submitted something to me that shows a different way to do it that's better, that is essentially using probe cores as bearings inside of these, instead of having this kind of, ooh, this multiple pieces kind of broke. See, because the problem with this is that there's a bunch of friction and bouncing right here at the front, and there's a bunch at the back. And inside it, there's probably also quite a bit of, yeah, with these, with the little pieces, the things, the struts, cubic struts, the little cubic struts are just bouncing around violently in there, and it's not so good. So I'm going to just rotate us like this. I wanted to take a look at the aerodynamics forces. Yep, I'm stalling it. I'm mainly seeing if I can make one of the engines fuck up by doing weird maneuvers with them. But looks like they're relatively stable. And since this is 1.2, we do not have turbo crash systems, so they're not continuously causing or taking damage from rotating around like that violently. But yeah, what was I going to do? Oh yes, I was just going to turn that off, and I was going to time warp, because the one thing that's cool about these engines, any kind of engine like this, is that it breaks horribly if you time warp it. In this case, the left engine, it died and stalled out and then came back. That's cool. Something broke and it died and stalled out and then came back. And I just noticed this has a bicycle landing gear. That's funny. So it actually has issues with that. All right, I'm gonna let us get a little more altitude, and then time warp it again just to see if we can break things again or not. Let's go ahead and do it. And both engines died a little bit, but I restored it quickly enough to where it was okay. Yeah. So I'm just gonna let one of them fully break. Oh no, neither of them's really breaking. The right one was generating more lift. Oh, now the left one is. Oh, the left one is really having a bad time with this. All right, now regular time warp, and we're just falling out of the sky, and it is trying to rotate desperately below us, and the game crashed. The game just crashed. All right then, you know not to do that now. This one doesn't close properly. Yep, I understand. Next up, we have an SR-71 Blackbird made by, Boom Shackle. And panels are not quite right. Oh, that's really bugging me how they're just like sticking out in weirdness and stuff all over the place. Like, just the clipping is just, the clipping is bad. And apparently he had to, if I remember correctly, he said something about he had to like really do some weird shit in there to get it to fly. Wow, the center of lift is way farther forward than it should be. And we do have a drogue chute, I'm guessing. Yep, it's a drogue chute. And, the engine, it clips into the engine slightly. Although, actually, I think I could get around that if I was doing this. Actually, now I want to make one. It'll be a little better than this, at least in ways of clippiness and part count, but I don't know if it would be better in any other way. But yeah, so here we go. He said it's pretty realistic except for a small amount of clipping to allow it to fly. And oh my god, why are you drifting on the runway? Whoa. Let's get into the air, my friend. Let's get into the air. I like how it has air brakes for yaw control. I guess because it has too much of a side slip issue. What happens if I pull it up really hard? It is really stable, despite the indicator for center of lift saying that the center of lift is far too far forward. It's actually really stable. The yaw stability is not the best, but I figure that's why he has hidden air brakes in there, is because the yaw stability is not great. I also noticed it has 3 landing gear on the back, which I find funny. I'm guessing that's something to do with it not being very stable on the ground, or wheel stresses, that kind of thing. Especially considering the thing drifted off the side of the frickin' runway when I took off with it. But in any case, it's supposed to go really fast, and it is going really fast. Of course, it's supposed to go much faster and higher. It says it can fly about 1,500 meters per second. Pretty realistic, except for the small amount of small amount of clipping. And it can outrun SAMs, which is again pretty accurate. I remember was it a podcast or was it reading? I don't remember which, but it was really interesting. This guy was talking about how he was flying an SR-71 doing a recon mission in over Iraq or over another Middle Eastern country, not really sure which. And they were just low enough, I guess, for a SAM site to pick them up. And with the SR-71, the way you try to avoid missiles is you gun it, because it doesn't have the maneuverability. Like, it's not a fighter. It's not gonna, dodge shit. But if you gun the engines, you can probably outrun pretty much anything because it's a freaking Blackbird, which I forget how fast these things went, but they went freaking fast. And so you just outrun anything that tries to get you. And they did, barely. And they were kind of freaking out a bit as they were outrunning the stuff. So he was talking about how, like, when they finally were like, okay, the missile's gone, like the warning software, the like missile detection stuff was like, okay, you're not being tracked anymore. Then he was like, okay, calm down, pulls back on the throttle and notices that his airspeed is like, I forget what the number was, but he said it's like, notices that his airspeed was like 200 miles an hour higher than it's supposed to go, like the maximum or something, or probably not 200, but he said something about like, he when he pulled back and he was like, oh shit, it was like he was going way faster than he should have been. And holy crap, it's got a huge bit of lift right there. I'm guessing that's one of the clip parts to make it fly. Well, they all have to be, well, they have to be, considering their location is inside the cockpit, unlike some of these other ones, which are obviously the front planes here. I'm actually really enjoying this because it is performing really well, and specifically it's whatchamacallit, the thing that I'm really enjoying about the way it's performing is the, oh, I'm gonna do the heat overlay. Oh, that's cool. I've never actually used this before, and so it's really cool to see. It's especially because this plane is definitely something where it is useful to have this to show you which parts are heating up more. And is orange hotter then, or is yellow? Because I would imagine yellow would be, since it's a lot of our leading edge stuff that's yellow, but orange to me seems like a hotter color, so I don't know. Let's see, when I'm leveling it out more, there's some more yellow stuff. Oh shit, I think we lost engines. I accidentally zoom climbed the thing. That's cool. Yeah, so a zoom climb, if you've never heard of that before, that's where you push a plane above its flight envelope by accelerating really fast and at a high enough angle to where you can just go way above where your plane is supposed to be able to go, but you can only be up there for a very short time before it falls back, because obviously can't go up there. But yeah, we air combustion failed. Yeah, that's what happened. That's cool that it says air combustion failed instead of ran out of intake air. All right, and see, now we've got thrust again. Not much thrust, but we got some thrust. And okay, so we know that it can fly theoretically at least at 25 kilometers, just not at not at 28 or whatever. So let's try and get out of this dive without losing too much speed, although we're still losing quite a bit of speed, so it may not react well to this idea. Oh, we're leveling off. We're starting to pick up a little bit of speed. Alright, let's see if we can pull up slightly and maintain the speed. Kind of wish I was using my flight stick right now. I haven't used it in a long time. I should definitely plug that back in at some point. But in any case, the thing I was really going to say about this plane, though, before I got off on a massive tangent like I do, is that it's what's the word I'm looking for? The thing about it that's really cool is that it's like violating KSP physics in like several ways, but like managing to make it work, and it's a pretty stable platform despite doing things that shouldn't work. So I'm just impressed with the fact that it works the way it does, because I think that's pretty cool. And we're not going fast enough, because we need to be going like super fast, so that I can pick up a ton of heat, a ton of speed. I want this thing to blow up from overheating. That's what I want to do to it. And to do that, I think we're going to need to let it lose a little bit of altitude. Kind of stay at the horizon, but obviously our angle of attack will actually be falling. But just keep the nose pointed at the horizon and the engines at maximum. Oops, I was not paying attention and let myself pitch up too much. Oh, you want to know another fun fact about the SR-71 that I just remembered and is especially relevant with what I'm trying to do right now? The SR-71's engines are so powerful that if you throttle them all the way up, they will melt themselves. Actually, I think they'd melt the plane first, but then they would melt themselves or something like that. It's like, I forget the exact details of it, but essentially they are so powerful that the materials that it's made of, they can't handle how powerful they are. So like it will just go and go and go and melt and die and burn up because of what's it called? Shock heating, which is different from friction heating. And I'm trying to remember what the it's because it's friction heating, but I think they called it something else. Is it just friction heating? Oh well, basically the difference, if you did not know, so friction heating is just, you know, the air rubbing over something, and with friction heating from atmosphere, you don't really get that. It's not really dangerous. It doesn't cause issue. It doesn't heat things up too much. But shock heating is where you're going so fast that the air can't get out of the way in time, so the air gets compressed. And when you compress something really fast like that, you generate a ton of heat. And that heat is generated right on the vehicle's surface, or right in front of the vehicle. And so it gets hot. It gets pretty hot. And that's what we're doing right now, which is awesome. And we're actually gaining altitude a little bit. Let's not do that. I want to gain speed. More speed, even if it means pointing us down a little bit. Also, I have to say, I had way more to say about the SR-71 and stuff, and I went off on a massive tangent, and I was not expecting to, so this video is actually going to just have one more plane in it, and the other two that I was going to take a look at. Or actually, let me take a look at something real fast. I'm trying to remember something. Okay, no, I'll have two more planes in this episode, and then I'll stop. And are we gaining altitude again? No, we're dropping. Okay, I was looking at something else for a moment because I was trying to keep track of what's going on with my life right now. And we're gaining quite. We're maxing out the engines pretty well. I'm just gonna kind of. What happens if I disable the SAS? What is the natural tendency of this thing, to pull up or to go down? It's very stable. Like, I'm not giving it any control input. Looks like the tendency is to stay straight. Holy shit. I mean, I think it's might be pitching down ever so slightly. It's definitely has a slight roll to it, because I think we were more level than this. That's probably due to like KSP physics being slightly weird or something. There you go. I've just rolled this a little bit. Oh, it's so cool just flying this without SAS and just having it be so stable. I kind of just can sit here and watch it for the most part. Let's tilt it down a little bit, see what happens. See if we can do that. Yeah, we definitely want to have the SAS on to maintain attitude when attempting to pitch down. All right, and you know what? Let's just try to be more aggressive with it. Oh, we're getting a part overheating at the front. Hopefully it detonates soon. Oh, we're starting to lose speed a little bit from the maneuvers. So at this point, I'm just going to kind of maintain attitude and see if we can get going faster. Looks like we've reached our maximum speed, at least at this altitude, at this angle. And it's going to start going down. Which part is that that's dying? I think it's the little intake at the front, unfortunately. Yeah, yellow is definitely hotter, because look at that. Alright. Explode, please. You're slowing down. Stop slowing down and explode, damn it. I'm just gonna watch it on this. Yeah, the heating effects, I forget what the hard-coded like lowest altitude for the heating effects is before it transitions to just the aerodynamic effects. Oh, we have something else about to overheat, or at least threatening to. Although we are losing quite a bit of speed now, and now it's not threatening to anymore. Damn it! How hard is it to make something overheat and die? Yeah, no, it's not gonna work. So I'm just gonna do this. Aerodynamic failure. Oh yeah, I forgot about the G limits and losing consciousness thing. So yeah. Okay, let's throttle down and try to regain control. We probably won't, but yeah, no, we're not regaining control of this. This is just. Oh, Bill. Oh, I just noticed there's a little level there that's saying whether he's going to be conscious or not, and he's regained consciousness. Good job, Bill. It's good to have you back. Man, Jeb can take a lot of G's. What did we get up to there? Holy fuck, 68.6 G's. And let's go ahead and turn off that engine, because we're just going to pick up speed towards the ground if we have it on. And the last thing we need right now is speed. Yeah, Yeah, they're fucked. They're fucked. I'm just gonna put out the landing gear here and see if maybe that can somehow help. It's not going to. Okay, I changed my landing gear. Whoa. Whoa. It really is just gonna be this plane and then we're done. But whoa. Whoa. Recon Assault 1 Predator. That's what the RA stands for. By Ham and Eggs. And holy shit. He sent this one to me quite a while ago. And I've been excited to try it out. And holy shit. This looks cool. This looks really cool. Oh my god, how many goddamn missiles are on this thing? So it's got, as it says in the name, micro missiles, which are pretty cool. And how many freaking parts was this? 384. Alright. Here we go. I assume there's a command pod you can command from to, or a little drone core or something, so that you can... No? Alright, let's take a look at it from this way. Yeah, high visibility cockpit, because we're at a weird-ass angle. Speaking of weird-ass angles, we're about to go off the side of the runway, so I'm just going to pull up and hope that, well, I was hoping that this thing would be able to pull up by now, but it looks like not. So I'm just going to fire all the things. Oh, and we lost our front landing gear, and now everything. That's a pretty shot. Yep. Wow, we sailed over that. I was expecting that to explode. I was like waiting for it. I was like, yes, blow up the tanks. And it just went right over it. Holy shit. And something fell through the world. Cool. So, trying that one more time, hopefully keeping things steady and being confused about the placement of the nav ball and stuff. It's not going well again. Can we just get off the ground, please? Please, please, I'd just like to get off the ground. Can this have steering? Can we turn on steering? There's steering, right? Yeah. There we go. Let's just keep it at least on the runway. There we go. Okay. Yep. It's nice to crash, but I want to take off with this thing. I want to take off with it. Can you even pull up? Do you even lift, bro? Do you even have enough lift, bro? There should be something in here to control from, I would assume. I guess not. That's weird. Normally when someone has a really off-axis... Ooh, dear. I thought I was going to hit that. Alright, we're pulling up. Barely. Pretty sure this would perform better if I had the actual proper control location thing, but since I can't find one, I don't know. I'm just gonna fire all the missiles. Man, these things fire fast. I mean, it's because they're essentially a strut with 100 Sepatrons. Okay, 6 Sepatrons, but still, a lot of Sepatrons on them. They fire out pretty darn fast. Of course, they are dumbfire. Oh, and they can blow up and disintegrate and do stupid shit. Oh, that's cool. Alright, so, like I said, because the controls aren't the best because of our off-angle cockpit, I'm actually going to go ahead and relaunch this again, this time with a cockpit that I've added, well, a probe cord that I've added on to get us pointed the right direction. And just to make it work, I took off a piece at the end there, and it's going to be slightly less cool looking, but at least hopefully more flyable. I'm going to say control from here. Alright. And I'm also going to, oops, before we get started, just tell this to have steering, which that time it said was enabled. Okay, what changed? Why did it get disabled? Does staging disable it? Hold on. Nope, it's still enabled. What changed? Okay, let's stop drifting it. Oh dear. This is the last thing I need. Pilot-induced oscillations! Okay. There. Oh dear. See, the thing about pilot-induced oscillations is they're hard to control for because, being the pilot, you induce the oscillation, so you've got to figure out what you're doing wrong and then correct it, which, oh my god, it was so difficult to get this thing going straight again after I started oscillating. That's how I broke my tooth. You know how a couple of times I've had like videos where I was like, because I had surgery in my mouth because of a tooth that went horribly wrong. Yeah, pilot-induced oscillations is how I broke that tooth. I was riding a scooter, and I started to lose control. I started oscillating back and forth quite badly, and then and then shit happened. Also, I know these were off, but I just feel like this might be more fun with them on, so I'm just gonna do that. Sorry! Also, this thing was made in 1.1, so maybe it had better performance then than it does now, because the performance on this thing is not what I was expecting, and doesn't seem to be what it was advertised to be, at least to me. So, yeah, also I just decided I would use the temperature overlay again, because I am curious what it would say. This thing will actually turn quicker if I just yaw turn instead of sweeping. That's great. I do like how it's essentially a giant wing though, and the like sideways fuselage, because most of the time obviously people do the fuselage pointing straight up or whatever, and this of course isn't that. All right, now we're gonna do a run on the VAB, which means oh crap, I forgot that the cockpit view would be that. So, not the best view for this. But in any case, I probably fired those way too early and too low, because they have a bit of down dropping. Oh, those ones almost hit each other. Alright, now let's pull up to avoid hitting the VAB ourselves. Beautiful. Successful attack run. Except it didn't blow up, so, you know, slightly less than successful attack run. Alright, let's fire these at the ground. Fire some more. Fire some more. Well, as many as we can. Oh, shit. Good thing for inverted G's. Save us from that shit. Alright. Well, other than the performance, oh god, not being what I expected. Oh, I was hitting the wrong buttons. No wonder that wasn't working as intended. Other than the performance not being what I was expecting, this was pretty fun to fly. Thanks for watching, and as always, I'll see you in space. Bet you thought I was gonna crash.